Hey guys, I want to give you my top 5 tips for successfully raising chickens. Here we go. Number 1, you definitely want to select your breed carefully. Do some research, get online, look at the different types of breeds of chickens that are out there. Not every chicken is suited to every climate, and since we all live in different places, you're going to want to check kind of what your climate is like and then what chickens can handle that kind of a climate. Here in Salt Lake City where I'm at, we get really cold winters, so I wanted to get a chicken that dealt really well with cold weather. So we have Sex Links and Leghorns, both breeds that do really good with cold weather. You can also get like Rhode Island Reds, they do really well in cold weather. So check your climate and then get online, do some research, find out what breeds would do best where you are at. Number 2, you're going to want to buy chickens in groups of 3 or more. Anything smaller than that, and you're going to probably stand the chance of having a really stressed out chicken or a couple chickens, and they're not going to lay for you, and they just overall won't be very happy. So chickens do really well when they're in social groups. They're a community social bird. They like being in a big flock. So when you buy your chickens, after you've researched your breed, make sure you're buying them in a decent size amount, right? So 3 or more. Number 3, an enclosed watering system. There's all sorts of watering systems out there. Most of them are open systems that are kind of like a bowl or a dish that are self-fed, self-filling. They're great for chicks when they're small, but I'm telling you, as they get older, they're going to be kicking stuff around. If you've seen a chicken for any amount of time, they walk around, till stuff up, kick stuff up, dig. They're constantly looking for bugs. They're constantly just dusting everything all over the place. And that open watering system will get filled up with gunk and debris and all sorts of different things. So again, a closed watering system, similar to what we have. We have a PVC pipe that runs along the underside of the chicken house, and it's got small nipples on the bottom that they can come and peck at, and that releases water. That water is always clean. It's always free of any kind of contaminants because, again, it's a closed system. And so if you want your birds to be happy and healthy, clean water is going to be a must. And the only way you're going to get guaranteed clean water is a closed watering system. Number 4, consistent feeding. You don't want to be changing your chicken's feed up all the time. Similar to a dog, if you're constantly changing their dog food, their stomach gets upset, they never quite get used to it, they never get into more of a rhythm of what it is they're digesting, and they end up not being very healthy. So with chickens, they're a little bit the same way. Find feed that you like, whether it's a non-GMO feed, an organic feed, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you feel is healthy for your chickens, go with that, but be consistent. Every morning we come out and we toss them our eggshells, and they eat those as a source of calcium, but I also crush them up, keep them in their throats, and then it acts a little bit like teeth. So when they're eating later in the day, they can regurgitate some of that hard shell, and it breaks up some of their other food. So that's every morning. Then we feed them table scraps throughout the day, different types of vegetables, excess stuff from the garden that we haven't been able to get to, or that's starting to get ready to turn, might be a little overripe, and they get all of that stuff and they love it. And then in the evening, again, we give them a small little bit of supplement of a non-GMO organic feed. But that's us. You find what works for you, what you're comfortable with, but be consistent. That's number 4. Be consistent in their feed. Number 5. This one kind of piggybacks onto the last one a little bit. Not only do you want to be consistent in their feed, but you want to make sure you're not overfeeding your chicken. A fat and happy chicken is a chicken that won't lay eggs. A chicken that is eating too much, too often during the day, will get overweight, and it's incredibly unhealthy for a chicken. You want to pull back some of that feed a little bit, let chickens be what they really are kind of naturally, is grazers and birds that are walking around kind of kicking stuff up, looking for seeds, looking for bugs, looking for worms. That's when they're at their best. They're active and they're healthy because they're getting a small amount of food throughout the entire day. All right, let's recap. Number 1, do some research on breeds. Before you just go buy a chicken in your area, you make sure that that chicken can handle your climate. Number 2, make sure that you're buying in groups of 3 or more. You don't want a small group of chickens. They're going to get pretty stressed out. They're a social community bird. Buy 3 or more. Number 3, an enclosed watering system. Let's keep that water clean and healthy for your chickens. Number 4, be consistent with your feed. Don't be changing it up all the time. Let them get into a natural rhythm of what it is that they're eating. They'll produce the most eggs under those kind of circumstances. And number 5, don't overfeed your chickens. A fat and happy chicken is not a chicken that's laying. So there they are. There are my top 5 tips for successfully raising chickens. Now get out there and raise some chickens. We'll be in the backyard.